There, Chloe. You want your breakfast, do you? Of course you do. Ordinary people always want their breakfast. Ordinary people who don't work night shift, that is. Oh, Chloe, never be a nurse. Be something nice and sensible, like a lumberjack or an astronaut. That way you won't be sleeping while other people are working.
Brendan.
I'm awake. I'm awake. I'll get up.
You've only had an hour's sleep, you dill.
Oh. Miss Universe wanted a breakfast.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I thought I'd be back before she woke up.
Yeah, that's all right.
See, I'll have to try and get the chores done before she wakes up, otherwise I wouldn't get through the day.
Yeah, well, you wanted to be a mother and a farmer.
Look, I know. Now you go back to bed.
I can't now. I'm hungry. You want some tea and toast?
Oh, yes, please.
Aha! Caught you. Now, you've been out there working, haven't you, without even so much as a cup of tea?
I was going to have something now.
You'll get sick.
I will not.
You will.
I will not.
You will. Molly, you need help.
Yeah, you're right.
I am?
Well, part-time anyway. I might ask Bob Hatfield if he knows of anyone looking for an extra quid.
Well, maybe Bruno Buonanno is Moon of Lightning, eh?
G'day. We're not trespassing, just looking for a job.
Oh, you're kidding.
Well, not at all, sir. You are looking at two fit and healthy males willing to work at anything you can chuck at us.
Oh, well, you've come to the right place. You better come inside and have a chat to the missus. That's Molly, my wife.
Good help. What did I tell you? Good, straightforward country folk in like Flynn. Come on.
Well, it's only part-time work, really. I used to manage the farm myself before we had the baby.
Yeah, when we were coming up the track, I noticed the west fence could do with a bit of restringing.
Oh, yeah, that's No Name. She's always scratching herself on the posts.
Yes, well, the fence isn't the top of my list.
Yeah, but Arnie's right, though, Molly.
Brendan, you will excuse us a moment, won't you?
What's up?
Brendan, you hospital, me farm, remember?
Sorry, Molly.
Brendan, why don't you take Arnold out and show him the farm while I talk to Peter?
Yeah, okay, Arnie. Come on. I'll show you what we've done to the place since your uncle left.
Oh. Oh, right you are.
You see, Brendan is a nursing sister at the local hospital, which keeps him tied up most of the time. So I handle the farm.
Well, it suits me, missus. But we're good workers. We won't bludgeon you, I promise.
Oh, I'm sure you won't. But I can only afford one man.
Yeah, I could see that when you were talking, and I've been thinking on it.
Hmm?
How about two for the price of one?
How do you mean?
Well, Arnie doesn't know the going rate for work these days. Only you and I need know about it. You'll be doing us both a favour, really.
All right, Peter. You got yourself a deal.
Good on you. Thanks a lot.
Oh, morning, darling. I know it's afternoon, but it's morning to you.
Uh-huh. What's that?
It's dinch.
Dinch.
Yeah, in between dinner and lunch. It's like brunch, only it's not.
Yeah, well, I can recognize the roast beef, but...
Well, that's shredded lettuce, and that's tomato, and that's
yes.
sliced roast beef, and potatoes, pumpkins, and peas.
Where?
There. It's mashed. Chloe thinks it's delicious.
I hate mashed veggies.
Well, Arnold and Peter thought it was lovely. They really appreciated the fact that I took the time to make a meal for them.
And so do I, Molly. Look, this is lovely. Ooh, num, 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 num. And what time did our workers arrive?
Oh, about 7:30 this morning, and they've been at it all day. Good workers. Well, Peter is, though old Arnold's very slow.
No, they seem like nice blokes. Father and son, you reckon?
No, I think Arnold's a bit old to be Peter's father. Grandfather, maybe.
I don't believe it. I mean, you took them their lunch and probably their morning tea, too, before that, and still you haven't sussed out their family history?
Oh. Well, I learned all about old Davo and that Arnold had a good time in the valley when he was a kid. You know, he was here when he was about 9 or 10, and it's been his dream to come back ever since.
That's a change. Most people dream to get out. Not me, though, Molly, not me.
You haven't touched your vegetable mash.
My fork's stuck in it.
Jenny's running swear as a bun, ain't he?
Ha! Good boy, knew you could do it. Nothing like a good, honest, hard day's work, is there, ain't?
No, mate, you should be doing it.
Hey, you smart Alec, get out of it. That's my job.
Hey, time for you to have your smoker.
G'day.
G'day. What can we do for you?
Lady of the house about?
Inside, feeding the baby.
Oh. Yeah, working here, eh?
That's right.
You're, not from around here?
No.
Are you? No. We're not.
Frank! Come for your chicken manure, have you?
Yeah, Molly.
Oh, Arnie, Pete, this is Frank Gilroy, our local police sergeant.
Yeah, I thought you might be.
Hotwire. I should have twigged by the name. I mean, you hotwire a car by joining two wires together instead of using the ignition.
All right, Brendan, so they're ex-convicts. What difference does that make?
It makes a hell of a lot of difference, Molly.
Look, they were ex-convicts yesterday and the day before. It didn't make any difference then. In fact, you thought they were terrific.
Well, that was because we knew nothing about their backgrounds.
Well, maybe they didn't want us to know anything about their backgrounds for very obvious reasons.
Well, that's exactly what worries me. That and the fact that now we do know. It's just not the same anymore, Molly.
Well, they're still the same. They haven't changed.
Look, I'm going to put my foot down, Molly. They're going to have to go, and that's it.
No, I'm the one that makes the decisions about running the farm.
Look, this has nothing to do with running the farm. It's to do with the security of the whole setup here.
How can anybody be expected to make a fresh start when nobody gives them a chance?
Well, they can get their chance on somebody else's farm. Now, I've got a wife and a daughter to worry about. Now, they go, and that's it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, this is your decision, Brendan. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
But at least Chloe agrees with me.
No, she doesn't. She's laughing at you for being such a shallow hypocrite. I bet even Doris wouldn't talk to you.
I need a son around here to balance things up a bit.
Peter.
G'day.
Look, I was wondering if I could have a word with you for a minute.
Thought I'd do something about this fence line before I start on the pens.
Yeah, well, look, mate, something's come up. We won't be needing any help after all. So you can finish up here after lunch, if that's all right with you.
I don't get it. I only just started.
Yeah, well, it was only a temporary job to begin with, and I just found out I got next weekend off, so the crisis is over, so to speak.
That copper's been on to you, hasn't he? About me and Arnie doing time.
Yeah, well, you finish up here, then you come inside, and we'll work out how much we owe you. I'm sorry.
Hi, I was hoping you were making a cuppa. Oh, I may as well, Vicky. I'm behind in everything else as it is, thanks to my husband.
Sorry, come at a bad time, did I?
Oh, no. He's not here. Sit down.
You had a row.
No. But if he was still here, we'd be having one. Chauvinist.
You too. I've just been with Simon. You should have heard the way he was
You know,
carrying
if I have to
on.
make a decision around here, he just says, you farm, me hospital, except when it suits him, and then he walks all over me.
Well, I've just left Simon at the club making tacky jokes about those ladies down at the caravan park. He called me a wowser.
And that's another thing. He is so narrow-minded.
Who? Brendan?
When it comes down to it, Vicky, he's just like everybody else around here.
I doubt that they'd agree with you.
I mean, they should be given a second chance, shouldn't they?
The ladies at the caravan park?
Arnold and Peter. Oh, sorry, my farm help. I mean, Brendan thought they were terrific. And so they were. Well, Peter was.
And aren't
Arnold
they
wasn't.
here anymore?
Oh, no. My chauvinist husband decided to fire them. Didn't matter what I thought. No.
Well, they must have done something wrong.
Yes, and they paid for it. I mean, how can they be expected to start a new life if nobody gives them a chance to go straight?
They were criminals.
Still are, according to Brendan. I mean, he didn't want them coming around and threatening his little family.
Well, I can see Brendan's point. You are here on your own all day.
But they behaved like perfect gentlemen while they were here, Vicky.
But you can never tell with those sort of people. Brendan was just trying to protect you.
From what? They haven't done anything, and when they... Well, if they do, that's what we've got Frank for.
Molly? Yoo-hoo! You there? Hi, sweetie. Molly?
Is somebody here? Oh, sure.
Oh,
It's you.
sorry, darling. I didn't mean to frighten you. I knew you had to be here somewhere.
I thought I heard someone drive up.
I just had to get away from the clinic for half an hour. They are driving me mad today with their paranoia.
Oh, you've noticed it too, have you?
Yes, sometimes I feel like a misfit amongst them.
Thanks. Me too.
That's why I thought of you.
The whole world is queer except for thee and me.
Well, at least we're not terrified of the gangsters in town.
Well, I wasn't, but I did think that you might have been an intruder.
Getting to you too, huh?
Yeah, it's stupid, isn't it?
Wait till they find out you've still got one of them working for you.
Brendan fired him when he found out that he and Arnold were ex-crims.
Oh, not his lucky day. Hattie Fleming turned him out of his boarding house room this morning.
Oh, no. What's he going to do? He's got to stay somewhere.
Well, he's down at the caravan park. According to the bearers of bad news.
I just wish I'd had a chance to tell him that it wasn't my idea to fire him.
He was a good worker, wasn't he?
Yep, and I should have told him that.
Yeah, well, I still think you're both crazy.
Drop it, Gail.
That's why we came to the country, to get away from bludgeon creeps like hot wires.
He's okay.
You can suck blood out of a stone and spit out the pips. You're not saying much, Rita?
I am enjoying my knitting.
Oh.
Whoever's going to wear that great thing anyway.
Yeah, it has got a bit out of hand. Still, I'll find someone to fill it. After all, it is a work of art.
Excuse me.
Well, g'day. Well, come on in.
Oh, thank you. I'm Molly Jones.
Hi.
Hi.
Who is this little pet?
Oh, she's Chloe Jones.
G'day, Chloe. I'm Peggy, and this is Gail and Rita.
Hi. I was looking for Hotwire. I heard he was stopping here.
Oh, you're the Jones whose farm he was working on.
Yes. I wanted to find him and tell him that, well, I don't want him to think that Brendan fired him because he was in prison. Well, I mean, that's why he did, but he was doing it for Chloe and me. Well, this is not coming out right, is it?
Look, why don't you sit down and have a cuppa? I know Peggy is dying to hold Chloe.
She's so lovely.
And I know Gail's dying to make us a cup of tea.
Don't trust me with the babies. Not the real ones, anyway.
Comfy?
You're very kind.
Oh, we only turn into painted witches after 8.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Look, don't worry about Gail. She's a bit of a kidder.
G'day, girls.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hi, Molly.
Hi.
Having a hens gathering, are you?
Yeah, grab a chair.
Oh, no, thanks. Too many women. I just come over to fix up the trailer coupling, but can wait. Oh, see you, eh? Bye-bye, little Chloe.
See you, Bob.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Well, Molly, how about telling us something about small farming? We're thinking of going into it ourselves.
You are?
Yeah. Well, you see, our current occupation has a somewhat limited outlook, or so you keep telling us. So, what do we do?
Well, I can certainly tell you what not to do. Don't touch turkeys, yabbies, or Brussels sprouts.
Oh.
Brendan? I thought I'd better tell you before anyone else did. I went looking for Hotwire at Peter today to apologise. Now, I know what you're going to say, Brendan, and before you tell me off, I just think that it's
I'm glad.
What?
I'm glad you apologised.
You're going to give him his job back?
No.
I don't understand you, Brendan.
Look, Molly, I didn't enjoy sacking Hotwire. And after hearing Arnie talk about him and listening to their plans, I feel pretty low. But I'd rather feel bad about not giving him his job back than giving him his job back and have something go wrong.
Do you understand that?
Look, Molly, Hotwire doesn't belong around here. Now, maybe if he and Arnie could somehow stay or get their act together...
You're starting to sound like someone born in Wandon Valley.
Look, I know you think that most of the people in Wandon Valley are short-sighted and narrow-minded, Molly, but maybe they have to be for their own protection, huh?
There we are. How's that?
It's just fine. So.
There was no one at the desk, so I came on through.
Well, that's all right, but don't stay very long. He's very weak. Mr. Griffith, you have a visitor.
You're still hooked up to all this stuff.
Oh, nothing much I can do about it.
You've got to make your mind up, Arnie. You've got to be more determined, you know. You've got to get out of here.
What's the rush? Yesterday he was telling me that there's all the time in the world.
Yeah, well, something's come up. I'm under a lot of pressure, you know. I need you out there telling me what to do.
You seem to be managing all right on your own. Holding down a job. Checking out farms for us.
No, Arnie. Look, I've got a level with you.
Level with me about what?
Oh, look, if you two want to talk, I can come back later.
No, come on in. It's nice to see you.
There's just some old magazines and some farming manuals. I thought they might help the time pass a bit quicker for you.
Just what we need. She told you the good news. We might be getting on a farm of our own. Might have to give you notice pretty soon.
Arnie.
Oh, yes. Brendan told me all about it. I
Look,
think it's a wonderful idea.
Look, Mrs. Jones, you don't...
Matron told me to remind you not to stay too long. She said that Arnie needs lots of rest.
Boys, champing at the bit. Can't wait to get started.
No, that's right, mate. I can't wait.
Anyone home?
Hello.
Mom. Oh, hi. Can you keep it down a bit? I just put Chloe to sleep.
Right.
How was the show? How'd the judging go?
Interesting.
Oh, Simon, before I forget, Beverly rang and asked you to ring in if you dropped in on your way back.
Well, how did she know we'd be calling in?
Oh, she didn't. She's got a communications dragnet set up on the access roads from Burrigan trying to intercept you. She's trying to find out the exact range of those bleepers.
Yeah, but I lost mine. This one's Terence's.
Well, whoever's it is, try not to make too much noise about it.
Simon's still sulking because Miss Wattle Creek didn't get the nod.
Oh, was she the _1 choice?
Well, she winked at him on her way up to the podium.
I gave her extra marks for good taste.
What happened to Bronwyn Muldoon?
What can I do?
Bronwyn tripped over the mic cord on her way onto the stage and pushed the saxophone
idea.
player off the bandstand. She never quite recovered.
Oh, poor thing.
You should have seen the sax player.
So Councillor Muldoon is still not
Sure.
talking to us. He's ropeable.
I can imagine. Tea?
Lovely.
Take a seat.
She's going to page a signal through my bleeper until somebody finds it.
Why not just get a new one and be done with it?
Well, that certainly sounds like a sane, rational, reasonable thing to do. I'm sure Beverly will never think of it.
Out.
I'm sorry.
Look, Molly, old Chinese club herb. A lady who have basket full of eggs should look where she's going.
Yeah, well, so should gentleman if he doesn't want to be 10-foot egg foo young.
That's a lot of eggs. Aren't the girls overdoing it a bit?
Oh, well, we had nearly 60 chooks at last count.
Are you sure we're allowed to keep that many?
Well, who's to stop me?
Would you believe the egg board?
Oh, come on, Brendan. They only worry about the big producers.
Yeah, well, 60 eggs a day is not, forgive the expression, chicken feed.
Look, do you know how much it costs for chicken feed? That's why I have to sell the eggs. That'll let the girls starve. Anyway, I'm supplying a need. People want free-range eggs. They don't all approve of battery hens.
Yeah, well, don't say I didn't try to warn you.
Besides, I don't sell them all. I trade some of them.
And I have a funny feeling that's illegal, too.
Can't be.
Look, you can't just go around trading your eggs and veggies willy-nilly, Molly.
Well, if it saves us buying meat, why not?
You mean last night's leg of lamb?
Was a straight swap. And Jack Sands is bringing over another half carcass today. It's a sheep, but he says it'll sell in the butcher's as lamb.
Yeah, well, you may as well get hung for a sheep as a lamb.
Oh, don't be so negative, Brendan. It's quite okay for me to keep 60 chooks because I'm not in a built-up area.
Are you sure about that?
Of course. You can only keep 3 in a built-up area.
That's dogs, Molly, not chooks.
Yoo-hoo. Here I am again, the egg lady.
I'll take a dozen, Molly. Get
Great.
some for Elwyn. Build him up.
Alwyn? Who's Alwyn?
Esme's nephew.
He's coming to stay with his wife. You must all come and visit him.
Bye, Jacko. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Oh, hello.
Hello. Is that your Sunday dinner?
What?
That.
Oh, this. Oh, this is not for eating. I'm a vegetarian.
Ah.
It's for my studio. I paint nude sheep. Can I help you?
I thought I'd go fishing.
For what?
Fish, actually. They say there's a river around here. Do you really paint nude sheep?
All the time. The river's that way.
Looks like prime quality. I got the impression you were trading for that gentleman.
Oh, well, sort of.
He's a farmer.
And art lover. The river's that way. You can't miss it.
Of course. Thanks. I'd like to see some of your work sometime.
Oh, fine.
Who was that?
Fate. Doom.
What?
Get rid of it.
No, thank you. I've just eaten. Molly, what's going on?
Oh, Brendan, I think he was something official.
Official?
He was asking me all sorts of questions about the lamb, about trading, and I remembered what you said about bartering.
Well, I did try to warn you, Molly.
Well, you needn't be so smug about it. We could be in real trouble.
What do you mean we, white man, huh? Me hospital, you farm, huh? Now you've got to keep up your side of the bargain. Or your side of the lamb, huh? Oh, hello.
Hi.
Improving my mind. Well, what's the matter? There's nothing wrong with Chloe, is there?
I knew this would happen. I just knew it.
Nothing wrong with your mother, is there?
Bev said she heard that man talking to somebody in Sydney.
Who? What man?
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown.
The one that was out at the farm this morning, the one asking all the questions.
Oh, him. Well, I didn't know he was Mr. Brown.
Well, that's what Bev said. Must be the same man. The one with the accent in the notebook.
Accent? Oh, that's funny. You see, Martha asked me about an accent when I told her about him.
I don't know about that, Brendan. All I know is that she said that she heard him say something about research and that he'd soon have the whole thing tied up and finished with.
Are you sure about that? Or rather, is Bev?
It was definitely something like that, almost. Oh, I knew this would happen. I knew he wouldn't believe the nude sheep.
Well, who'd believe nude sheep?
They've found us out. What are we going to do? Okay, what am I going to do?
How's the little nipper then? Look at her giggling away to herself there. Coochie, 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 coo. Bit on the scrawny side, isn't she?
Not compared to normal people, she isn't.
What's with all the paperwork?
I'm fiddling the books. Any questions?
Heard about that bloke knocking about, have you?
Yeah. He dropped in here to ask about the fishing. He was fishing, all right.
Yeah. Probably heard about your eggs and veggies deal.
What do you mean, someone dobbed me in? Well, if anyone's going to dob me in, they'll have a tale or two to tell about you, Bob Hatfield. I don't remember you ever giving us a receipt for any work you ever did round here.
Well, don't start on me. I didn't dob you in, and nor did anyone else. We're all up the same creek, you know.
I'm sorry, I'm just a bit edgy. How was I to know I couldn't swap my eggs or veggies without giving the tax their cut? I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's crook, all right. The damn government takes a slice of everything. Do you know, for every 3 septic tanks I put in, I've got to put in 1 for Canberra.
It's battlers like us that get it where the chicken gets the axe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But mind you, we could be barking up the wrong tree. That bloke could be an inspector from the Egg Marketing Board poking about.
What have I done to the egg board?
Well, you've got more than 20 laying hens out there, haven't you?
Well, so?
Well, 20's your lot without a permit. Otherwise, you've got to be registered with the Egg Marketing Board. And they charge you $1 a head per bird per year. Hey, listen, that Brown, he wasn't counting your chickens, was he?
Well, if he expects a cent out of me, he's counting his chickens before they've hatched. I'd like a word with you, Mr. Brown.
I'm delighted. Mrs. Jones, isn't it?
You know who I am.
That's a delightful baby you have there.
Oh, I'm allowed to have a baby, I suppose, without your official permission.
Well, of course. Have as many as you like.
How many can we afford to keep when people like you are ripping us off all the time?
How am I ripping you off?
Oh, it's all very sweet and clean and legal, but it's still a rip-off. You always pick on the battlers, don't you? Not on the big grazing companies with their friends in high places or their smart aleck tax accountants. What chance have I got of rigging up the bottom of the harbour scheme? I can't put eggs under the harbour.
I thought you put eggs under a hen.
And what business is it of yours how many hens I keep? If I can afford to feed and clothe them, well, that's...
Clothe them?
You know what I mean.
I wish I did. It sounds absolutely fascinating.
So, what if I do barter an egg for a plant and a plant for a lamb chop, All right. A side of lamb, then, like the one you caught me with the other day. You'd soon change your tune if you knew about life in the country. If we didn't help each other out with this and that, then we'd...
Here, a lamb chop there.
Then we'd sink without a ripple. But you want your cut of everything, don't you? And does anyone around here get a fair return for their taxes? Oh, no, no. Our money goes into paying for fancy roads for city people. For your parks, your trains, your art galleries. And who feeds your layabouts? We do. And we've got layabouts of our own.
Are you bartering fresh vegetables?
You know I am.
And fresh eggs?
Hot from the hen. And you can put that down in your little notebook.
Yes, I'd like to take some back when I go home. But what could I barter? You wouldn't take money, I suppose?
Oh, that'd be really playing into your hands.
Eggs under the harbour.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a dozen lemons are worth a dozen fresh eggs. Oh, no, you don't have to give me anything in return. But I'll supply you with peas for a month if you can give me some space in your freezer. Great. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Jenny.
She's at it again.
Yeah, you think she would have learned a lesson, wouldn't you?
Hey, Molly, you want to be careful. Next bloke could be the real thing.
Yeah, you're breaking the law again, Molly.
Bad laws are the worst form of tyranny. Edmund Burke, born 1727, died 1797. Let them take me to court. I will defend my rights to the fruit of my toil in the highest court in the land. Those eggs, those pumpkins, that spinach are mine, born of the sweat of my brow, to dispose of in any way that I think fit. And God help any petty bureaucrat that questions my right to do so. I say unto him, we, the small farmers of this big land, will rise in wrath against those people. Beverly, you have access to every household within a 50-mile radius. You have more penetrating power than the papers or TV. You're the voice of fate. You're the What? No? What is your favourite sport? Punting? You mean boating? Oh, you're a punter. Well, why didn't you say so in the first place? What a waste of time. Everybody is so apathetic. Do you know I can't get one single person to help me organise this demonstration? Not one.
What demonstration?
To get the race meeting banned.
Banned? Molly, it's the event of the year. People have been working on the organisation of this for months.
It might be the biggest event, but it is also barbaric, cruel, exploitive, medieval, and degrading.
Degrading? Oh, Molly, it's the sport of kings. It's wonderful. It's exciting. All those marvellous horses galloping down a green track with the white rails, the jockeys in their silks.
And the fixing and the doping and the whips. All those angry little men sitting on those wonderful animals, whipping them to the ground. Then there's the gambling. Man using animals for his own greed. What sort of person is that?
My dad used to do it.
I don't believe it. He might have had a bet sometime,
He
but
owned a racehorse. Well, almost. Dad and 32 other blokes formed a syndicate and chipped in $10 each, and they raced it for 5 years and never won a place, but they had a lot of fun, Molly, and it's the sport that counts.
You might have had fun, Brendan, but what about the horse? Somebody's got to speak up for the horses, and it's going to be me. And you needn't try to stop me.
I'm going to put the kettle on, Molly. We've got visitors.
Oh, what visitors? Who is it?
Oh, a couple of kids. The trailer broke down on the hill. They've got this old nag in it for the race.
I don't want to have anything to do with that race, Brendan. I told you how I feel about it.
Oh, look, Molly, they've got this beaten-up old trailer they're trying to fix. I told them they could leave the horse here. The horse is probably just as beaten up.
It's a principle of the thing, Brendan. Look, you can do what you like. I don't want to have anything to do. I thought you said it was an old nag.
Yeah, well, the trailer was pretty beaten up, so I just assumed that the horse... Oh, wow.
Hello. G'day.
How are you? Not bad, how are you? Good. Oh, look.
Lovely
Okay.
horse.
And after we saved up that much, we had the mare serviced by the best stud.
And we got Spinifex out of that.
She's a beautiful horse.
She's going to be a champion.
Oh, it sounds as though you've worked hard enough for it, Kerry.
Oh, you have to. If you want to go into the racehorse business, professional, you know.
But why do you want to race a
So you've been
beautiful
planning to go into it for a long time, then?
Oh, yeah, since we were at school. About 15 I was.
Yeah, see, me and my sister used to live over the back of the race.
What's up?
Are you all right?
Yeah, it's nothing. I reckon I must have pulled a muscle wrestling with that rotten trailer.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, so, anyway, me and my sister used to hang around and we just sort of got into it, you know?
Oh, it took us a bit of a while to get the mare, but now we've got Spinifex. We're in business, I reckon.
Well, any wins yet?
Oh, we never raced her yet. Wandon Valley Cup's our big hope. If she wins that one, we're on our way. If not...
She'll win.
I know.
Adam, do you use a whip?
Yeah, of course I use a whip.
Now, you two, what are you going to do? You're going to have to get that trailer fixed before you move on.
Yeah, well, that could be a bit of a problem.
I don't see how you can if you love horses.
Oh, you can't hurt a great big horse with those little whips, Molly.
Well, how do you know? Have you asked the horse?
No, look, it doesn't hurt him, really. It might sting him a bit, but that's all.
Look, where are you staying?
Well, at the pub, we hope. We booked some rooms.
Look, what say you leave Spinifex here on our land until you get yourself organised, okay?
Okay.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's all right. Poor thing's probably exhausted. She'll need a good rest.
Right. Well, that's fixed then.
How did you go with the trailer?
Oh, it needs a new part. Something to do with a wheel, an arm sleeve or something. All I know, it's got to come up from Sydney. It's an old model. The parts are difficult to find. It could take a week.
Well, don't worry. Spinifex can stay here as long as she likes.
Oh, thanks. I'll pay for a keep. And there's Adam on top of everything else.
Adam?
Yeah, that pain doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Well, look, we've got very good doctors in town.
He won't see anybody, I know it. He'd be too scared they'd find something wrong and he wouldn't be able to race.
Well, do you think there is something wrong?
Well, I don't know. He could have strained himself with the trailer, I suppose.
Well, what would happen if Adam couldn't ride?
Well, we couldn't race Spinifex. We'd have to go home.
Well, there'd be other races.
Not for us. Our mum mortgaged the house to get her ready. It takes a lot of money to train a racehorse. We put everything into her. If she doesn't win the Wandon Valley Cup, we'll have to sell her.
Oh, Kerry, that's terrible.
You know, Adam and me have been round racetracks all our lives. It's the only thing we know. We've got everything riding on this race.
Well, look, you've got to think positively. You want to win, you will win. What am I saying? I don't like horse racing.
What a great-looking horse.
Yes. Don't you think it's a crime to use it for racing?
On the contrary, she looks like a winner.
For Kerry and Adam's sake, I hope you're right. But I'm against the whole idea of horse racing, the greed, the abuse, the indignity to the horse.
The horses love it.
How do you know? Have you asked the horse? They've got no option.
Yes, they have. A racehorse is bred to race. They miss the track when they grow older. That's why they give an old racehorse to the clerk of the course. You can see it, loving the atmosphere. A 4-year-old racehorse dancing and prancing, ears pricked up, loving the crowd and the applause.
Oh, look, that's all very romantic, but it's a fallacy. The horse would be much happier running wild in the fields with the rest of the herd. I abhor the whole idea of horse racing, and I'm not going to change easily.
Well, that's your problem, Molly.
I know it is. It's always one against the world. When Columbus said the earth was round, everybody thought he was mad.
This is a bit different.
I have been reading a book on a famous British suffragette who threw herself in front of the King's horse at Epsom. She was against horse racing too.
Molly, you wouldn't.
Brendan, Spinifex is gone.
What?
I said Spinifex is gone. The horse, I've looked everywhere. She's gone.
She can't be gone.
She is. What are we going to do? What are we going to tell Carrie and Adam?
It's all right, just calm down. Where did you look?
I looked everywhere, I told you. Spinifex! Spinifex! Oh, I told you she's gone.
Yeah, we better contact Adam and Kerry. They're staying down at Jono's pub.
We better call Frank too.
Oh, hey, look, we'll find her, okay? Well, what's she doing in there?
Doris, how dare you? Stealing a racehorse is a very serious offence. What are you doing?
I'm gonna ride her.
You're not supposed to.
Oh, why not? I can't see the harm in it.
She's very delicate.
Well, I'll be very gentle. Look at her. She's dying for a ride.
She's not used to you. You don't know her. You might cause some psychological disturbance.
I know horses.
I hope so.
That was terrible.
I thought she was wonderful.
Yeah, she's a bit sluggish.
1 minute, 10 seconds. It should have been under 45. I've never seen her so slow. Has something been going on? Have you done anything to her?
Me?
Well, maybe it was that pig. Maybe she caught something from the pig. You said she was with her.
There's nothing wrong with Doris. She's a very healthy pig.
What is it then?
Well, I don't know. She was fine this morning when I rode her. She was really frisky. When you what?
You didn't ride her.
Yeah, well, I couldn't see any harm in it.
Oh, we better have a vet look at her, Adam.
Yeah, but I only took her around the paddock once or twice.
Well, she's in terrific form as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, Brendan, I'm sorry.
You've just been so generous letting us keep her here on your property.
Oh, it's okay. I should have asked permission before I took her for a ride, I suppose. How embarrassing.
Well, you know how important this race is to us. We're just being overprotective, I guess.
Yeah, and after all those things you said about whips and racing.
Oh, the only way Molly had hurt an animal would be by being overprotective.
Well, I'm still against the principle of horse racing.
I just can't understand why she was so sluggish this morning. She's never been like that before, has she?
Nothing wrong with her now. She's as frisky as a lamb out there.
Well?
I can't find a thing wrong with her. Spinifex is in great shape.
Maybe it's just one of her off days.
I just wish Adam was here. He'd know what to do.
How is he?
Well, Dr. Bowen seems to think he's coming down with pneumonia.
Pneumonia? Well, if it is pneumonia, he's not going to be able to ride Spinifex, no matter how fit she is.
Oh, don't worry. He'll pull out of it. Nothing's going to stop Adam riding Spinifex in the cup.
Hey, maybe they've both got the same thing, like that tennis player that got a disease from playing with the cats.
Molly, that was toxoplasmosis. Spinifex has not got pneumonia, that I'm sure of.
Oh, heck. Spinifex, come back!
Looks like she's going back to the farm.
Oh, there she is. There's a girl, there's a girl. It's all right, she's not hurt.
What on earth would have made her come back here? Oh, no. Couldn't be. There's a kitten. Spinifex and Doris? I don't understand. Why Doris?
Very common trait in thoroughbreds, isn't it, Kerry? Especially when they're in training. They're really highly strung. They like to have company when they relax, just like we do.
That's right. She used to be really friendly with an old nanny goat we had on the farm. It died a couple of months back.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, she went right off her tucker and mooned about. And then Adam mixed up a mash of bran and apples and oats and she snapped out of it.
Now she's taking a shine to Doris.
Well, it looks that way.
Could explain why she hasn't been stretching out in her track work.
That means... Oh, no. Do you realise what that means?
Yeah. If Spinifex is going to have any chance of winning this cup, she's going to have Doris with her.
What's happening now?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
They got a flaming pig down there.
Hope this works, Doris.
Oh, they got me stumped. Now they're giving the filly a run.
Let's go.
Like a rocket. Hey, let's get back to town and get a piece of the action before the word gets out.
It was Doris, all right. She ran like the wind.
It is a shame about Adam, but at least you've got someone who can ride.
Frankly, that's a matter of opinion.
You don't sound too keen on the idea of this other jockey.
Oh, I've seen him ride a couple of times. He's a whip merchant. Really has to belt his mounts around to get him going.
Harry, that's terrible. If he tries anything like that with Spinifex, we'll have to stop him.
Somebody bet on the day. Hi, folks.
Hi. Hi.
You missed all the excitement at the hospital today, Kerry.
What excitement?
Horry Hopkins sold his 1952 Packard to Cookie for $40 and put it all on Spinifex for a win.
I thought he was dying.
Yeah, so does Horry, but the message is slowly getting through that there's no great rush.
Oh, Brendan, look, Kerry has to find another jockey to ride Spinifex, and he's a whip merchant. Now, we've got to do
I've
something.
heard all about that, and I've got an idea.
Tie one hand behind his back.
No, we forget all about him and let Kerry ride girl.
I can't. It's against the rules.
Well, who's going to know? I mean, Cookie thought it was Adam doing track work this afternoon, and so will everyone else on Saturday, providing you keep your hair tucked up under your cap.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea. If only...
If only what?
Well, if only there was some way of covering up the fact that Adam is still in hospital.
Wir ways und means of keeping this to ourselves.
We have? Well, I certainly hope so, because if Doris has to miss the first race meeting because we goofed up, I'll never forgive you, and neither will Doris.
Well, Kerry, it's your decision.
I could wire Slats and tell him it was a mistake. Yeah, let's do it.
There you go, Doris. Now, don't lose it when you front up to put your bets on.
Doesn't she look wonderful?
Yeah, she did brush up rather well.
No, I mean Doris. Oh, Spinifex looks marvellous, too. Isn't it glorious? Absolutely glorious day?
Mum, don't gush.
Why shouldn't I gush? Cup days were made for gushing. Oh, Mrs. Havisham, isn't it a brilliantly wonderful day?
You all set? How do you feel?
I've got so many butterflies in my stomach, I don't think my feet are touching the ground.
Oh, why don't we all go and grab something to eat while we got the chance?
What a good idea.
What are the odds on Chip Eater?
Simon, odds aren't in this book.
No, only the mothers and fathers.
They're weights and colours.
Go on, girl, what's wrong? What's wrong? Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Uh-oh.
What's up?
Doris isn't in a stall.
Oh, no. She was under strict instructions not to leave a post.
Is everything all right?
Oh, no. Somebody's put beer in a bucket. Doris has been nobbled.
I think I know where she'll be.
Don't worry.
Doris, how could you? Come on, Doris. Pull yourself together, for heaven's sake. People are beginning to point. Oh, no. Don't tell me you're going to flake out on us.
Yes.
Oh, here's that committee man heading this way. I better get back to the jockey's room. Can you handle it?
Yeah, piece of cake. Don't worry, I got away with animals.
I'll see you over there.
Oh, Burgess, Mr. Burgess.
Ah, what seems to be the problem, Councillor?
Oh, one of the papers is doing profiles on the jockeys in the Cup. We want some background material on young Burgess.
Oh, well, you've just missed him, but why not do an article on strappers instead?
Well, how about doing one on alky pigs that get too drunk to scratch themselves when they're supposed to be on duty?
Yes, well, excuse me, some other time.
And they're racing in the Wanton Valley Cup. Got them away to a good start. Murphy's Revenge fence down in advance to Chip Peter and Sir Kevin. Closely followed by Spinifex. Space Pattern, Fillet of Fish. Now make that final flutter. They hit the course proper with about 6 furlongs to run. And it's Murphy's Revenge pulling hard on the outside of Chip Peter and Sir Kevin. Here comes Spinifex. A link to the good of Space Pattern. Final flutter bringing up the rear. Round the back of the course, it's still Murphy's Revenge holding a handy lead from Chip Peter and Sir Kevin. Followed by Spinifex and Space Pattern with Final Flutter dropping further back into last place. They're starting to bunch up now around the back and into the turn with about 3 furlongs left to travel. And it's Murphy's Revenge piloting the field along from Chip Peter in second place, doing it nicely. A length to the good of Steak and Kidney, followed by Spinifex. Space Pattern, Fillet of Flutter. Make that final piece, bringing up the rear. We're working under a couple of difficulties here, ladies and gentlemen, to get at it. Scott Buckley's anyway.
Here comes Spinifex with a winnering run down the outside with 200 to go. She's hit the front, leaving from Mushroom Rag out and cut the hash. She's going to hit the line first. Go, Spinifex. Go. They come to the line now.
She's going to do it. She's going to win.
Come on.
She won it.
Yes, folks. You can put down your glasses and Spinifex for the money. After a sensational finishing run in the 1982 London Valley Gold Cup.